Yeah. Welcome to Sports Fit, Betting Insight today. I'm Drew Martin. This is Teddy Covers. And let's get right into it. We're live from Costa Rica. We got bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books from last night.
Yeah, I mean, we got to start with the NBA Finals, which was a freaking disaster for a lot of bookmakers, both here in Costa Rica and, of course, back in Las Vegas. 129 to 120, the final. And that, again, a very bad outcome for the shops. Why? Real simple. So a lot of the key books like Penny and Chris, they got pushed out to 9.5. This game bounced between 8.5, 9, 9.5, all throughout the 3-day period between game, or was it 2-day period between games 2 and 3? No, I'm confused. Throughout the period between games 4 and 5. I couldn't tell you.
Couple days period.
That's what happens when you travel. You know, you just, what's today, yesterday, tomorrow. But throughout the course of betting, 8.5's available, 9's available, 9.5's available. Could not have landed on a worse number for the books, because guess what? Anyone that wanted Cleveland could have found them plus 9.5. Anyone that wanted Golden State could have found them minus 8.5. Anyone that didn't shop around probably pushed. So books didn't do real well. And of course, the over took a fair bit of money. There was a late over push. That game got up to 231.5 at many spots. Books, they didn't enjoy the NBA Finals all that much this year. Bettors, on the other hand, probably did.
You know who else did? Kevin Durant, MVP. How would you rate his series historically, Teddy?
Well, look, when you look at the most points scored ever in a 5-game NBA Finals, Allen Iverson ranks number 1 back in 2001. That may be before your time. I've never seen a guy play.
Black hole.
He was insane. That was Allen Iverson was unbelievable in that series. He single-handedly kept his team in game after game. So he has the all-time record. 178 points scored in a team that literally had no other option. It was Iverson every possession. Durant, number 2 all time in points scored in a 5-game NBA final. That to me is particularly impressive.
Allen Iverson, that guy, you're right. His athleticism. You should actually check out his high school football athletic highlight tape. It's pretty crazy. But what about LeBron James? How do you think this affects his legacy, Teddy?
Well, look, I mean, when it comes down to championships and LeBron-MJ argument, you know, MJ's got more rings, and that's not going to change. That being said, you cannot blame anything about the Cavs' loss on LeBron James. LeBron, the first player in NBA history, Paul. There's my first Paulie. There'll be another. First player in NBA history to average a triple-double in the NBA Finals. And how about this? Okay, this is a great tweet from ESPN Stats and Info. James had never had as many points, rebounds, and assists over any 5-game span in his career in the regular season or in the playoffs as he just had in the NBA Finals. His legacy, at least in my mind, not tarnished in the slightest. He had an amazing series. Unfortunately for the Cavs and their backers, he just didn't have enough around him.
All right, Teddy, looking ahead to next year, the NBA, they're just coming off their highest rated NBA Finals since Michael Jordan. Although you can't get around the fact they got some issues. I mean, creating buzz outside of the Cavs versus Warriors rematch, where do you think they go with this?
Honestly, it's a real concern for the NBA. We have the opening odds and the current odds for the 2018 NBA title. And look, the Warriors are at the Westgate, they're minus 200. At Golden Nugget, they're minus 300 against the field to win the title. And the Cavs are the second choice, 2.5, 3 to 1 at most books. And after that, I mean, San Antonio's 12 to 1, Boston's 15 to 1. And then it goes to 30 to 1s and 60 to 1s. I mean, there really aren't a lot of teams nipping at the Cavs and the Warriors' heels. I think it could be a problem for the NBA in terms of regular season ratings. But obviously, when it comes to the postseason numbers are based on a broader audience, a more mainstream audience, and they respond to stars. When you have Durant and Curry and LeBron and all of that, the stars will be there once again in the postseason next year. So I think their postseason ratings will be fine. I do worry at least a little bit about what happens in the regular season. Certainly from a betting standpoint, Golden State's going to continue to be a hard team to support. You're going to lay a premium to back the Warriors.
I mean, they're laying minus 300 to repeat at the Golden Nugget right now. It's just crazy. It's tough to recommend that, huh?
I can't recommend it, and yet there's no one else I want.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's not another team that I'm like, oh yeah, they're right on the cusp. They're right. They're just, they went, 16-1 in the playoffs this year, Golden State, and the Cavs were what? They 12-0 going in the finals, or were they 12-1? I can't remember. But the Cavs didn't lose a whole lot either.
Yeah. Either way, it's a tough. You got to lock up your money for a year for only a 30% return. I don't know. It's a tough one with that much risk.
There's no advantage in making that bet now. The line is not likely to change significantly in any way between now and, let's say, the start of the season.
Okay, that's a great point there. Let's get into it. Bad beats. Nats 9-6 in the 8th. They lost 11-10. Their bullpen already been struggling, got even worse. But Matt Albers lost it, giving up a 3-run home run to Tyler Flowers in the 9th. Really no answers for Dusty Baker right now, Teddy.
Listen to the quote from Dusty Baker. This is a Nationals team that's in first place. A Nationals team that probably has the starting pitching and the everyday lineup to be a World Series contender. Certainly, to be on par with the Dodgers and Cubs. Here's a quote from Dusty Baker. Come on, man. How many times have we covered this before? I'm serious. It's been a case-by-case basis every day. This is your manager. We need some help. We need some help big time. We've been knowing that all along. I have to anticipate a team that has the ability to add payroll. We'll add some payroll in the bullpen over the course of the next couple of weeks because the Nationals bullpen right now is a disaster, and it was a brutal beat if you laid the price with Washington on the run line or for the game. In that Matt Albers blown save. Let's put it this way. Matt Albers and blown save should not be in the same sentence because Matt Albers should not be closing games.
Bad for the books, Teddy. We got Mariners Twins. The total opened at 10, pushed to 11, flew way over the total.
Oh, yeah. The bookmakers started rooting for rain in the 4th inning because that's when they got to 11. They had no hope there. And the Mariners obviously hit the total by themselves. And we just talked about the issues that Dusty Baker has. Maybe the only manager with worse bullpen problems than Dusty Baker is Paul Molitor right now. He had to use his catcher, Chris Jimenez, out of the bullpen again last night. That's happened 5 times already this year. When you have position players coming out of their position and going on the mound 5 times over the first half of the season, that, folks, has got to be referred to as a bullpen problem.
Ugly situation there. Yanks, -115. Pushed to -135 versus the Angels, end up winning 5-3.
Yeah, this wasn't a good result for the house either. There was a lot of Yankees money last night. And the bettors were on Tanaka because they're like, hey, the Angels lineup isn't the type of lineup that's been crushing him. And in LA, you're not going to see the the home run balls at Yankee Stadium are warning track outs in LA. That worked for Tanaka last night. Of course, Aaron Judge, who's having a season for the ages as a rookie for the Yankees, hit the 2-run homer in the 8th to provide the winning margin.
Judge, he's the first rookie to lead his league in all 3 triple crown categories in June or later. Pretty big stat there. So let's get on.
That's in history. That's an MLB history. The first rookie in history to be leading the Triple Crown at this stage. That's something to talk about, man. Baseball's been around for a while.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you say MLB in history, that's a long damn time. All right, big games. Rockies, Pirates, -110, -115 range. We got a total at 9, money a little bit on the under. Chatwood versus Cole. Garrett Cole, he's been throwing the ball harder, but really can't get anybody out, Teddy.
Well, I mean, when you look at the average fastball velocity, Severino's number 1, Carlos Martinez number 2, Garrett Cole's number 3. This isn't all of baseball. But when you look at those 3 guys and their advanced metric stats, it's not even close. Cole, the ERA is higher, the fielding and pitching is much higher, the strikeouts per 9 much lower, and the swinging strike percentage much lower. So when he's throwing as hard as anyone, but he's not getting the strikeouts, he's not getting the swinging strikes, what does that tell us? It tells us that when the hitters make contact, it's hard contact. And number 2, he's having a problem with his off-speed pitches. But the home run to fly ball ratio has been a disaster for him so far this season. The fly balls are flying out of the park. 19.2% of his fly balls have been home runs. Home runs per 9 at 1.8 is those 2 stats, by the way, out of 94 pitchers who have worked 60 innings or more this year, Garrett Cole's at number 82 for home run to fly ball ratio and number 83 at home runs per 9 inning. And both of those rates more than double his career average. So it tells us those off-speed pitches that aren't working are clearly problematic. He had a great quote from Garrett Cole right here.
Yeah, sometimes a lot of these dips that you go through in the season, it's about persisting through the process and trusting it. There's hard work to be done, which I'll do. I'll continue to do it. Things are still moving forward. Things still looking up. Just got some stuff to take care of. Yet, you know, for all the Pirate struggles, Teddy, Cole not being an ace, Tony Watson struggling, Andrew McCutchen, you know, where's that guy been? They're still only 4 games out of first place.
That's insane. Because this has been, I mean, it's been a lousy season for Pittsburgh. Their ace isn't pitching well. That quote didn't sound, you know, oh, we'll figure it out type of thing. It's not, oh, I got it down. Their slugger's off to the worst start of his career. Their closer's a problem. And Cole's not an ace. They're only 4 games back, but that's because the division hasn't been very good so far this season.
And for the Rocks on the other side of it, they're off to their best ever road start, 24-12. Only the Astros have been better on the road than the Rockies. And really a key for them has been their young pitchers. Their young pitchers like Tyler Chatwood emerging, really his ground ball rate, and also keep in mind their relievers, their bullpen.
Their bullpen has been rock solid all year. It's been an exceptional surprise. But so is the starting pitching. And you know, Chatwood, we talk about the stats. And again, there's a guy that keeps the ball on the ground. In MLB over the last 2 seasons, 2016 and 2017. You have Perdomo in San Diego, you have Stroman in Toronto, you have Keuchel in Houston, and there's Chatwood at number 4 on the ground ball percentage of, you know, the percentage of ground balls of 200 innings or more, 57.6%. So he really has done an amazing job at doing that. And you look at his career splits, Coors, 5.17, on the road, 3.65. You know, the win-loss record's the same in both places. ERA is pretty dramatically different.
Absolutely. His career splits are just ridiculous. So we also got the Dodgers Indians. We got Kershaw versus Bauer. Dodgers -165, 7.5 to the over. We got Kershaw. You know, he's been great again, but hasn't been quite as amazing, Teddy.
That's the thing. You know, Clayton Kershaw still attracting the price, and he's certainly still a guy who the betting markets are ultimately focused on. But when you start to look at the numbers, really look at them, he's declined from last year, and several of them significantly. ERA, $1.69 last year, $2.20 this year. Okay. The fielding and pitching, the FIP, 1.80 last year, 3.05 this year. That's a big drop off.
That's a big jump.
The XFIP, a 60-cent drop off. The strikeout percentage is down. The ground ball rate is down. The swinging strike percentage is down. And he's fallen off in every category despite a relatively weak schedule. In fact, not relatively weak. There are 94 pitchers in baseball who've worked at least 60 innings this year. And Clayton Kershaw, in terms of difficulty of batters faced, that's what kind of opposition did you face and how well are they hitting? Well, out of those 94 pitchers, Clayton Kershaw ranks number 94. He's faced the weakest slate of opposing hitters of any pitcher in baseball. So you see the drop off in his stats and the fact that he's been facing some weak lineups, plenty of weak lineups. That, not quite a red flag, but maybe something to be concerned about. Of course, when it comes to the Dodgers bullpen, there's nothing to be concerned about. Kenley Jansen is the one who's been amazing this year. 4-0 with a 1.03 ERA, 11 saves, a 0.44 FIP, man. He's faced 96 batters. He struck out 43 of them, 0 walks, 16 hits. That's pretty impressive. And by the way, the 43 strikeouts without a walk is the all-time record for most strikeouts without a walk to open a season.
We also got on the other side, Trevor Bauer, the biggest head scratcher in MLB. You could possibly make that argument. He shows the stuff to be an ace. He loses concentration like not many pitchers in MLB at this point in their careers do. He's only 5-5 with over a 6 ERA.
Yeah, and again, of pitchers with 60 innings or more this season, his strikeout per 9 ratio, number 6. His strikeout percentage, number 10. His ERA, number 90. So there's a disconnect there. We're talking about a guy that was the number 3 overall pick in the 2011 draft. We know he has nasty stuff. He has over 600 MLB innings, but he's never been able to find that consistency. You know, how can a guy have stuff that's that good and give up so many runs? Well, why don't you use his own words? I think he got knocked out after 3 1/3 in Colorado last time out. Quote, got myself in trouble by walking people. The ball didn't go to people today. I don't know why. But of course, when it comes to great bullpens, you know, Jansen's been amazing for LA. Andrew Miller's been insane. 0.29 ERA, 0.86 FIP. He's faced 117 batters. He's allowed 14 hits, 47 strikeouts, 5 walks, and he's not relegated to just one inning. He's not in that closer role. The Indians have been progressive with how they use their bullpen, and they're getting maximum leverage out of Miller, which makes them potentially live in a late game situation here.
Coming from the left side too helps them. All right, we got play of the day. Got to hit it. 903 Colorado plus 100 today.
Yeah, the Rockies, it's a game that we talked about earlier, obviously. Don't trust Cole until we see signs that he's actually turned it around. The Rockies with Chatwood have been moneymakers in this role all year long. Game number 903. Take Colorado plus 100. If you shop around, you can find a little bit better. That's our play of the day. Let's do it again tomorrow. What do you say?
We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon, live from Costa Rica. For Teddy Covers, I'm Drew Martin. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers.